Hello everyone, this is your 5 and welcome to the Global Man Central Toy Review. And today's toy review, we're looking at the 2010 release by Hasbro of the Walmart exclusive of the Iron Man 2 movie series action figure review. And today's action figure review, we're looking at the Iron Man Mark IV figure. Now I got this straight from A369 who sent this as a gift from the US, shipped all the way to Malaysia. So thank you very much A369 aka Richard. Check out his channel down below, his toy channel, where he does a lot of variety of toy reviews. He's a very awesome guy indeed. So check out his channel down below. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. Now this figure is actually available in a lot of toy shops near my area, selling about 70 to 80 ringgit, even up to 90 ringgit as well. But the worst part is a lot of toy shops near my area tend to package this with another figure, forcing you to buy another one, which costs about 160 to 180 ringgit. They actually sculpt a bit more, additional 20 to 30 ringgit there. So I really don't like how they did their businesses like that. Now let's take a look at the packaging itself. Typical Iron Man 2 packaging, but really nicely done. On the top section there, you got a nice little image of the Iron Man there, and the side of the packaging itself, they managed to cut it to shape the front chest of the Iron Man himself, as you can see that. Not as creative as compared to the first Iron Man packaging style, where there's a lot of interesting way on how they cut and show the parts of the, well, the artwork itself. This one is still alright, and I really love how they did the fonts of the color itself compared to the first Iron Man movie packaging style, where the fonts are all dark red and black. This is all gold and the edges are all in red, which is very nicely done. Now also in the background, you'll notice this circular glow, which is actually the arc reactor, the old arc reactor. Now in the bubble itself, you got the figure, the extra head with the helm and Tony Stark's head, 3 pairs of hands, and reused repulsor blaster missile launcher, and the missile itself that looks like a cotton bud. Here we got a smaller sticker that stated only at Walmart, save money, live better. I really wish that Malaysia actually has Walmart. Now at the back of the packaging, here we got a nice little image of the figure itself, stating the interchangeable heads and hands. That's the feature for the figure itself. Top section there is a smaller write-up stating the Iron Man Mark IV is a perfection of all the refinements made in the Mark III. Its boot jets and repulsors are tuned to the absolute maximum of potential power output, giving the Mark IV an unprecedented edge in speed and firepower. Even Java's got an upgrade, making the computer smarter and able to track scores of targets at once. Very nice. And on this section here is the rest of the lineup: the Iron Man Mark V, the Walking RC Iron Man, and Iron Man Rolling Headquarters. Very nice. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging so we can molest the toy. Be right back. And we're back after the figure and the rest of the stuff out from packaging. Now let's take a look at the accessories here. It comes with the repulsor blaster, which, to be honest, when I look at this, I feel like vomiting, because this has been repackaged so many times in the first movie Iron Man figures, the Iron Man 2 figures, and also the Iron Man Armored Avenger 6-inch figures. This thing has been repackaged so many times. When I look at it, I just felt like I wanted to throw it away. And the worst part is, of course I'm not going to go too much details, but there's a lot of things I want to complain about this thing, is because you can see the red there. This is not painted, the red is not painted, but 2 different red is available. The grip here, the clip-on, has a brighter red, and the entire body is a darker red. The only paint job for this entire repulsor blaster is the barrel and the technical doodad, as you can see there. Also, like always, they didn't actually close the gaps there. You can see there's a gap of the line there. They didn't close it properly, and they didn't even bother to cut it properly because there's a lot of scarring there of the plastic. There's a button on the top, and you load this cotton bud looking missile. Of course this is not painted, of course, just a little bit of tiny little bit of colors there, made of semi-clear translucent plastic. So you load the entire cotton bud into the repulsor blaster, press the button on top and launch it. Now you can also have the figure equip it. Of course I'm not too sure why you want to equip this thing into the figure. Not onto the wrist though, it's a bit too loose, so you have to push it up above a little bit. As you can see, Iron Man is now, well, equipping this repulsor blaster, which I don't understand why would anyone want him to, since in the movie he's not, well, using that, or this thing never existed at all. Now let's take a look at the 3 pairs of hands. Yes, it comes with 3 pairs of hands. You got a pair of grabby hands, and you can see the 2 colors are different kinds of red. Brighter red, darker red. Very inconsistent red going on, similar to the repulsor blaster there. At least the repulsor palm is painted. Edges are in blue, and in the center, white. Very nice sculpt on the hands though. Then we have a pair of open hands. This one is already equipped with the open hands. Same kind of colors going on. Brighter red, darker red. Repulsor palm is painted. Then we have a pair of, well, enclosed fists. Again, same thing. Darker red and brighter red. I'm not too sure why they can't keep up with the color of the red, but we'll go on with the review first. Then we'll focus on this guy. First, we have the alternate head of Tony Stark. The hair is painted in dark brown, a little bit of shading going on, very nice. And you can see the eyebrows are painted, the mustache, so does the goatee. Now the eyes inside is also painted, and the sunglasses is a separate piece. Yes, it's a separate piece. But first things first, the eyebrow is painted a bit too far to the left, as you can see here. So it looks kind of weird. Flesh tone skin is not painted at all. Now the sculpt of the face is actually not bad from the front, from the hair itself, but to the sides, the ears looks really weird. It's like it's melted off. At least on one side you can see a bit of the ear itself, but the other side it looks like somebody cut off his ear. Really disgusting work. It's like the poor bastard don't even have right ear. You can see on the bottom all the red paint job smeared onto it, because, well, originally this head has been packaged onto the figure's body, so the red is smudged onto the bottom section of the neck there. But it's still okay, because it's already hidden anyway the moment you put the head onto the figure. Now speaking of the figure, let's take a look at the figure's paint job. You can see the hands is already having this kind of issue with the inconsistent red going on, but that's not it at all. The hips as well, the shoulder pads, at least the majority of figure's body at least kept in one color, this darker red skin, and you got some gold going on, and a bit of blue due to the eyes, and a bit of white as well for the repulsor and the arc reactor for the eyes. It's actually not bad, but I really wish that they do a bit of paint job on the bottom of the boots. There's no details there. Now the red here is a bit dark red. I really wish it's this kind of red, brighter and shiny. This is not really shiny at all, but it's still alright. The figure's paint job is a bit alright, just a little bit of smudge, especially on the head itself, on the edges here, the bit of red lining running across to the face of the gold mask. Not really well done. You can see a bit of silver paint job onto the, well, I would call it teeth if you wanted to follow my example. But on the other side, the gold smudge onto the silver paint job on the teeth there, so not really well done. A bit of black spot hit onto the joint itself. Other than that, the paint job is quite solid. It's just some of the smaller parts have this inconsistent red going on. Other than that, the paint job is actually very nicely done. Just a little bit of problem, but it's still alright. Nice little details on the back there. Very nice. Now for the figure sculpt, it's actually not bad. I really like the sculpt. The sculpt is way more nicer compared to the first Iron Man movie figures. Very nicely done with the sculpt there, especially on the head sculpt. The head sculpt has a lot of details, especially on the row of teeth there. Very nicely done. I really like the amount of details they put onto this side of the ears as well. Very nice. But the back portion is even nicer with all the overlapping armors, the spine there, the back portion of the armor. Very nice. Even comes with the elbow pad. Very nicely done. Very nice details. Hands, of course, is very nicely sculpted, but the forehands here is a bit hindered by the armor itself, so you will have some problems trying to pose the figures for the wrist itself to try to go outwards because it's being hindered by this piece here. However, the shoulder pads is the most annoying thing in the world, because when they try to place the shoulder pads, they also squish the peg joint there. It's smooshed in, so it's a bit loose. This one's even worse, as you can see. You can see the smaller peg at the bottom, but on the other side it's all flattened out. So the moment you lift the arm, it's just gonna pop off the entire thing. It doesn't stay on very well. Also, another complaint is the swapping of heads. This head, the hole itself is a bit small, so I have to force the peg to connect to the head really hard. That's, you know, I just place the head on the bottom of the table and just, you know, hold the entire figure, just try to push it in, because it's really hard to push it in. For the normal head here, or at least Tony Stark head, it's easy to put it in. It's just this guy, the head itself is a bit too tight. Now let's take a look at the figure's articulation. Now the neck joint is on a hinge ball joint, so we can lift the head all the way up like so, or all the way down like so, and turn 360 degrees. It's a bit tight for this head. This one is alright. Now the shoulder pads here is articulated. As you can see, it can flap up and down, but I already mentioned before, it pops off real easy. Now the torso here, you can see it can go a bit forward, back, and turn 360 degrees, as you can see here. Now the problem with this torso, as you can see, it keeps on going backwards. It won't stay straight. Now the shoulders here, I'm going to remove this part. The shoulders here can actually turn 360 degrees and lift the arm this far, but with the shoulder pad you have to be extra careful, so you can lift the shoulder pads up and lift all the way up this far. Has an upper bicep swivel that turns 360 degrees like so, and you can see it's already popped off quite easily. Double jointed elbow that bend this far. Wrist joint here can turn 360 degrees. It can pivot downwards like so, and a little bit upwards, just a little bit, as you can see here, because it's being hindered by the forearm armor there. Hip joint is on a ball joint, so the peg is aligned straight, so you have to twist the ball joint for him to move the legs forward. This is as far as you can go, or to the sides. And it has a swivel tie that turns 360 degrees. Double jointed knee that bend this far. Ankle joint is something I really don't like, because it's barely able to pivot upwards and downwards. This is as far as it can go. Can turn 360 degrees a little bit, can see that, but you might end up, well, deforming this lower part of the armor itself. Now overall the figure looks really great. I really love the sculpt. The paint job is a hit and a miss, but the paint job is still alright. At least it stays consistent with majority of the armor parts there. But for the figure's shoulder pads, that's a little bit disappointing, because it kept on popping off from the figure way too easily. And I really don't like the ears for Tony Stark head, because one side of the ear looks like really badly done. It's like he hasn't had the ear on the right side, and popping the head is really hard for this one. And the torso here doesn't even stay straight, as you can see. But the articulation is quite tight for the most part of the figure itself, so posing him is alright, except for the torso here. And I really don't like the ankle joint. The ankle joint barely able to, well, do some poses there. You can't even pivot upwards or downwards. So if I'm gonna give a rating on this figure is actually better compared to the first Iron Man movie figures. A lot better with the sculpt and at least majority parts of the colors, but some parts are, well, have some quality control issues. So if I'm going to give a rating of this, I'll say I'll give it a nice, well, an 8 out of 10. Yes, an 8 out of 10 for the Iron Man Mark IV figure. despite with the problems with the shoulder pads and some of the parts, but majority of the figure itself is still good. So 8 out of 10 for Iron Man Mark IV. I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.